Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now, what's next? Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now, in love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Is all this new stuff what you're showing off at the expo?
Yes. It's our mental alignment meter.
Mental alignment meter? I thought you were working on some sort of rocket car.
Oh, the rocket propulsion system was far too unreliable, as that incident with Einstein proved. By the way, whatever happened to Einstein?
I wish I knew.
Anyway, I started tinkering with an alternate method of propulsion, but that was before things started heating up with Edna. Our conversations about the possibilities of applying technology to social ills pushed my research in a whole new direction.
What's a mental alignment meter?
It's the most revolutionary piece of technology since the cotton gin.
What does it do?
It reads and interprets the subconscious desires of the human mind.
Why would you want to probe people's minds?
Why wouldn't you? Imagine being able to diagnose mental disorders with a flick of a switch, or detect the truthfulness of courtroom testimony merely by connecting a witness to a small portable device.
Your machine does all that?
Not yet. Frankly, right now the whole thing's just a gussied-up potentiometer. But with years of refinements and a whole lot of investors, the MAM will be able to identify countless psychosis and neurosis, alcoholism, acrophobia, Oedipal complexes.
And?
And then we can set about curing them, of course.
Of course. How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind-mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind-mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
Anyway. Did you make a mind map of yourself?
Of course. Take a look.
Edna's right. You are a model citizen.
At least as far as my invention's concerned. Confidentially, this whole enterprise is a little light on the hard science and a little heavy on the smoke and mirrors.
Can't believe you invented all this in 2 months.
Well, like I said, there's not really a whole lot of inventing going on here. I just dressed up a $5 potentiometer with a lot of bells and whistles.
But...
Don't get me wrong, it does a remarkable job of telling whether a subject is currently liking or disliking what they're experiencing. But all the extra stuff about sorting out criminals from model citizens is mostly a bunch of hooey at this point.
How are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
He's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
Hey, what's with the new threads?
You like them?
You look like Colonel Sanders.
Who?
Never mind.
Edna gave them to me. She says my usual clothes don't have enough zing for a public exhibition.
What do you say we take a break for a couple of hours and go see a movie?
A couple of hours?
Actually, it may be more like 70 minutes.
I haven't got a couple of hours. I still got all these mind maps to sort, and the MAM's wiring is still giving me fits, and...
I get it, you're busy. So, you and Edna, how serious are you guys?
Well, we both enjoy a good joke every now and then, but I'd say on the whole we're fairly serious people. Why do you ask?
No. What I mean is, how serious is your relationship?
Oh, well, as a scientist, I can't state this with 100% confidence, but I'm provisionally certain that I'm head over heels in love.
Really? With Edna?
What can I say? She's my muse. In the weeks since we've been courting, she's given me so many wonderful ideas.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
This kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding. What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really. Mind if I...
Go ahead. Ah, that'd be Mr. Needleman's card. I'll just put this in the stack with the other hooligans.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
Yeah, about 90% of Hill Valley thus far. It's a little disturbing.
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure. Hey, Emmett, I've got a... Whoa! Whoops.
What the heck?
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Your suit's ruined. Edna's gonna be royally PO'd.
Wrong.
What?
When Edna gave me this suit, I realized that the probability of me keeping it clean was infinitesimally remote, so I spent a few hours whipping up this.
Whoa! What was that?
A chemical compound capable of wiping the grime off any surface.
Emmett, you'll make a fortune.
Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Due to an inherent instability in its molecular makeup, after 12 hours, the cleanser's component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-shredding enzymes, rendering it unsuitable for commercial use.
Wait a minute. Does that mean your suit's gonna dissolve in 12 hours?
Hey, gods, no. The solution dissipates into the air after it's applied. But it does mean that after this batch of cleanser ages another 11 hours and 53 minutes, it would eat away this suit faster than 1,000 starving moths. And that would be a crisis of unimaginable proportions.
Why?
Because this suit belongs to Edna's grandfather, who wore it on his wedding day. Poor guy was gunned down just a few years later.
Emmett?
Well, enough wool gathering. Back to work.
That cleanser doesn't seem very portable.
It isn't, but this is.
A perfume bottle?
Yes. No. I mean, yes, it's a perfume bottle, but inside is a concentrated dose of my all-purpose cleanser. With a little luck, this should last me through the next 12 hours before its component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-destroying enzymes.
Clever. What the hell is that?
What?
Sorry, I thought I saw a tarantula. What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
You look a little constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Hey, Emmett, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it. What?
I was just thinking about the future. All that talk about Edna's grandfather made me realize something.
Please let it be something about lightning.
Life can be short, sometimes brutally so. So why not seize the day and grab your happiness while you can?
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I was saving this for next Valentine's Day, but why should I? I know what I want.
Emmett, no.
I'm gonna ask Edna to marry me. Right now.
No!
Oh, right. I'll wait until tonight at the expo. It'll be much more romantic that way. Just think. By this time tomorrow, Edna and I will be engaged and will be the toast of the scientific community. And I owe it all to you.
You're welcome. Emmett,
Yeah?
you can't marry Edna.
Why not?
You're too young to get married.
Nonsense. Back in the old country, a man my age already have 2 kids and a farm. Besides, what's the use of waiting when you're in love?
I just don't think Edna will make you happy in the long run.
Well, she makes me happy now, and that's what counts. And as for the future, well, the future isn't written yet.
You better hope it isn't. There's someone better out there. Trust me.
I know you mean well, but look at me. I'm an awkward teenager with poor social skills and a predilection for prattling on about obscure scientific minutiae. Frankly, it's a miracle that one woman has found me desirable. It could be decades before another one comes along.
Let's just drop it.
Fine.
You sure you don't want to take in a movie? I think you'll like it.
Strange as it may sound, I've got more pressing things to think about than going out to movies.
Okay. Are you sure Edna's the right woman for you?
What do you mean?
Don't you think she's a little controlling?
Controlling? Edna? No. She's just giving me a little much-needed guidance. Before I met her, I was such a flibberty-gibbet, always getting distracted by the slightest stray idea. But now, thanks to Edna, I stay focused on the task in front of me, like a narrow-band stream of stimulated photon emissions. Focused!
Isn't she a little cold?
Don't let the schoolmarm exterior fool you, buddy. Edna's got enough warmth to raise a liter of water from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. Know what I mean?
I kind of wish I didn't. I don't know. I just think Edna might be a little dangerous.
Oh, I agree.
You do?
Like all independent women, she's a danger to the patriarchal status quo. That's one of the things I love about her. She shakes things up.
You have no idea. I just think you should be careful, that's all.
Thanks for the concern, but I'll be fine.
I still don't think Edna's right for you.
Oh? And who is she right for? You?
Me? No way.
Relax. I'm just yanking your tibia.
You get back to work. We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
Hey, Emmett, I've got to go out for a while.
I thought Edna sent you to make sure I wasn't getting distracted.
Oh, you'll be fine. Hey, Doc. Mr. Sagan.
Excuse me a moment, Miss Strickland. I've got her neutralized for the moment. How's the plan proceeding on your end?
Horrible news, Doc. Emmett's gonna ask Edna to marry him tonight.
But that's not how it happened. She didn't get me to propose until much later, that night at the lake.
Something I said must have caused him to move up the timetable.
Great Scott! This time travel business is trickier than I imagined.
Is it true that you only had eyes for Edna?
At that time, I'm afraid so. I always tended to idealize the opposite sex. I was educated in a boys' school, and Jules Verne was always a little sketchy with female characters.
You haven't got time for a therapy session, Doc. Was Edna right when she said you had a virtuous brain?
I do indeed. No criminal tendencies whatsoever. Solid citizen through and through. That's how I was able to go so far in politics.
Yeah, I'm starting to miss Kid Tannen. Edna made a point of saying that teenage you looked great in her grandfather's suit.
I did cut a fine figure in that suit. She hated it when I got it dirty.
Maybe I could talk teenage you into losing the suit.
I doubt it. I knew how much that suit meant to Edna, and at that time my only desire was to please her.
It's about Edna.
Don't worry, she's not going anywhere right now.
That's good, but... Have you found out anything that can help me?
Only that she's stubborn, argumentative, and completely convinced of her own moral superiority.
Great, thanks, Doc. That really helps. What are you two talking about anyway?
It's a private matter. I promised I'd keep it between us, for the present.
She isn't starting to get under your skin, is she?
Heavens, no. The memory of her older self wheeling me into the reconditioning chamber is just too strong. The younger version is decidedly more attractive, though.
On another subject...
Less distasteful, I hope.
Good news! I think Trixie's gonna go along with my scheme.
Pursue whatever strategies you like, but please don't tell me the details.
It's about Ed...
I've forgotten how damn sure of herself she used to be.
Used to be. She isn't starting to get under your skin, is she?
Don't worry about that. Emmett Brown has sworn off women.
Not forever, I hope.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Urban, reminding you fur is forever.
That volcano looks a lot like the one I did for my 7th grade science fair. Maybe when Real Doc comes back, we'll take a trip to see a dinosaur. Furs donated by Lamont's House of Ermine. At least they're going to a good cause. They're stuck tight in this tar. It's a good thing I did this before Emmett's 12-hour time limit, where the cleanser might have dissolved the fur. Let's slip out of those furs, shall we? Hey, Trixie. Are these furs good enough?
Well, they're a little ratty, but, they'll work.
Voila.
Say, pretty snazzy for a phony rock. Gimme. Keep that up and I may take a real shine to ya.
I'd rather you take a fake shine to Emmett.
I'm working on it.
I brought Emmett's photo album like you asked.
Let's see. Gee, he's not bad looking. In an egghead kind of way.
Remember, I don't want you seducing him for real.
I ain't a cradle robber, kiddo.
So, you got everything you need for your big scene?
Everything except for your friend.
Emmett Brown, redheaded guy about yay high. He'll be the one with Edna Strickland.
Not for long he won't.
Great. Emmett says this stuff will clean anything, but it only has a 12-hour shelf life. Too bad I haven't got 12 hours. Or do I? It'll be safe in there. Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Hey, the light's green. That means Doc could take the DeLorean out again. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear. Yes?
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, the light's gone green.
Wonderful. If the systems check out, I should be able to take it for another test run. I've got to run a short errand, Miss Strickland. I suggest you think about what I've been saying.
Oh, I will.
When did you land this time?
9 hours and 37 minutes ago.
Ouch.
Frankly, it started to get a little difficult to avoid running into myself. Still, the time jump yielded some interesting new data on the flux field. I'll run some more tests and we'll see what we find.
Doc's trip aged the formula a few hours. Not enough to turn it to acid, though. Hey, Artie.
Hey, Mr. G-Man. How's the, undercover operation?
If everything goes as planned, we should be wrapping things up real soon now.
Well, when it's time for me to play my part, just say the word.
So you're the registration guy for the expo?
And chief accountant, and paymaster.
Hey, you're coming up in the world.
And none of it would have happened if I hadn't responded to that subpoena.
Think the Hill Valley Expo will be a success?
I don't see why not. Why shouldn't California have its own high-technology center?
I don't suppose you miss working for Kit Tannen.
No siree, Bob. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with an abusive, gun-toting thug like that. He even stiffed me on overtime pay.
You haven't met Sylvia yet, have you?
My contact person? Not yet. Is he or she at the expo?
I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a she. Why'd you have to go and fire Trixie?
You think I wanted to? It's illegal for me to knowingly hire a Canadian for the job, and I don't want to be in trouble with the law again.
Keep your eyes open for Sylvia.
What should I do when I meet her?
Just let nature take its course. Keep doing what you're doing, Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's our, code name for you.
Oh, ha! Funny.
Hey, the light's green. I need to talk to you.
Excuse me, my dear.
Not at all, Mr. Sagan. Take your time.
Much obliged, Miss Strickland. Yes?
Your chronometer's gone green again.
Excellent. Let's hope this time my test run is a success. I'm sorry to desert you again.
Yes, well, you've left me with plenty to think about.
Any luck this time?
Depends what you mean by luck. My arrival time was off again.
By how much?
8 hours this time. Gave me the chance to take in 3 showings of Frankenstein. Good movie. A bit implausible from a scientific perspective, but I can see how my younger self would have been mesmerized.
What about the DeLorean?
Oh, yes. I did get one critical piece of information. The chromium elements in my circuits became unstable during the temporal shift. I should replace them with titanium.
Great.
Now, unfortunately, titanium won't become commercially available till the Kroll process is perfected in 9 years.
9 years?
But there may be another solution. I'm going to fire up the chronometric analyzer again. Then, while I'm stalling in there, you can... Uh-oh. Where did it go?
The lab.
Ah! You better get down there before she makes the situation impossible. I'll tend to the DeLorean.
Age to perfection. Hey, Emmett, I'm back.
Oh my!
You know, I thought you were coming down here to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
Oh, she is. But she's generously scheduled brief canoodling breaks every 45 minutes to keep my mind fresh.
Time's up, dear. Let's get back to work.
Shall we?
Now, Mr. Corleone, what can I do for you?
Can I go into the lab for a bit? I think I left something in there.
Sorry, but I'm afraid the lab is off limits until Emmett's finished tuning the mental alignment meter.
But
No exceptions.
can I talk to Emmett? It's kind of important.
It'll have to wait until later. Emmett's got a lot to do before the expo opens. Isn't that right, darling?
You know it, Schnookums.
Schnookums.
You can talk to him later.
Mr. Sagan says he needs to talk to you back at the high school.
He does? Whatever for?
He says he wants to give you an interview about his invention.
One of those tedious cars of the future? That can wait. I've got to keep Emmett focused on his invention.
He wants to give you the scoop about his thrilling escape from Kid Tannen.
That's yesterday's news. Our invention will be tomorrow's story.
He says he's got a lead on the speakeasy arsonist.
He does he? Well, I'm not sure anyone cares about that old story anymore. But I suppose I could spare a few minutes in the service of solving a crime. Will you be all right without me, sweetheart?
It'll be tough, but I think I'll muddle through.
Try to keep him focused. He's so easily distracted.
Don't I wish?